um, the importance of local community around you. We have a guild
Hmm.
that is in its 61st year,
Amazing.
in the Hammond, Louisiana area.
Okay.
And I can't emphasize how important it is whenever you've got a really strong group of community like that helps us find venues to show and sell our work. That as a lead up to getting a website and getting better tools to sell with. We probably offer our membership, you know, 8 or 10 different venues throughout the year that rotate, from month to month.
Hmm.
Um, and it's a good way to start as you're building up to the capacity for what you're talking about.
Got it. Yeah, yeah, got it. Yeah, personally for me, having done this as long as I can, I think a lot of people get excited about this, that, or the other that can potentially help them or not help them. And I view them all as the same. Show me the money. The only thing I care about is getting you guys to sell. Show me the money. And I don't care if it's co op, guild, juried show, award show, lots of likes, lots of comments, lots of shares. There's no button for any of those things on the ATM machine. Those are
Yeah.
those are all hobby buttons. What we're looking to do here is sell the work as judiciously as possible. And I think if I was just getting started right now today, the only thing that matters is that the work sells. That's it. There's nothing else. And the work has to sell to people not named mom, dad, brother, family, friends, right? Because
Yeah.
those people would buy anything from you. Once you've sold your work to strangers, you now know that you have a product that the market wants. And then you get going on the marketing problem, which is how you're going to get it in front of more eyeballs. And so, if the guild is working for you, fantastic. And that you can offer that to other artists, fantastic. If it's not helping to sell the work, then it's like, I got 50,000 likes. Yeah, okay, but you didn't make any sales. What the hell are you gonna do with a like,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yep.
they're all vanity metrics. So I just like to remain laser focused on like getting the work in front of strangers and seeing whether or not it can sell, which is why I love um, in-person shows and fairs because it's the quickest, shortest path to get there. It's you on a table
Hmm.
somewhere with your work set up. I mean, I went to the beach this weekend because I live in Southern California and it's still like we have late summers here, so it's still really nice here. And I must have seen like 7 artists doing complete bootleg special with black tablecloth. Their work stood up. They didn't have a permit. They weren't allowed to be there. They just set up because they could get away with it. And people were walking by all day long. It's like you could do that on Saturday if you had inventory, right? You can go down there and see, can you sell those things or not? Take PayPal, take Venmo, take cash, right? And see whether or not you
Yep.
can sell it. If you could sell it, then you're cooking with gas and you get going on everything else.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just came out of the Venice Beach, areas like that. I
Yeah.
lived in California for about 20 years. I
Nice.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just about 45 minutes down the coast from Venice and Newport Beach.
Hmm.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Oh, Robin, there we go. Let's go.
Hello.
Hey,
So I myself would be selling actual artwork, but then my partner would be selling photography. So I wanted to ask you a couple questions. First of
mm-hmm.
all, with the live art shows, do you see that working the same way for photography? I
Oh,
mean,
100%, 100%. The biggest disconnect with photography, where everyone screws up, is the photographers think they're selling JPEGs. You're not selling JPEGs. You better get these damn things printed out so that you can show them off. Oh, my
right.
camera's all of a sudden. God, my whole thing is so screwed up. This zoom window is supposed to be behind me. Ugh! Anyway, you have to get the inventory. One of the smartest things about the live art shows is the majority of the time, because God wired you guys or whoever you believe in, wired you the way that you do, you have this special power to like be able to look at a 2D image and visualize it on the wall. We don't. No one else does, right? So you have to just be able to hold up the work. So, your partner, significant other needs to go and get a bunch of those things printed out so he can show them. The good news is that you don't have to spend a ton of money doing that, and they can be small.
Okay, and so then for the live art shows, when you
Mm-hmm.
were saying that that girl, she sent out her email list or
Mm-hmm.
her collector's list,
Mm-hmm.
is that something that you would be you would be filming before and then you'd email it out, or you'd have people sign up for something like a Zoom call like this live, or how were you showing? It looks like hers was like a link tree or something, but how would that
Yep.
what would be the best way to get it around to everyone?
I know exactly what you're talking about. So I got to start at the top. Because they're free and because they're easy to do, you should be running thousands of them. Okay? Thousands. So you keep that in your head, and once you do, you realize if I'm going to be doing thousands, there's all kinds of different ones that I can do, right? So I could turn this camera on. In fact, just because I'm going to show and tell kind of a mood today. Watch. I'm on Instagram right now. I'm going to go live. What's up, Instagram? Patrick from Art Storefronts here. It's Monday. I'm in a really, really good mood, and I've got a bunch of extra canvas prints, okay, from my recent trip to Positano. I normally sell these things for such and such, but I decided today, why not have a flash sale on these things for the next 24 hours? So for the next 24 hours, anyone that is interested in this beautiful shot of Positano in the Amalfi Coast can get one of these canvases at a 50% discount. All you got to do is send me a DM right now. Thanks. There was my live art show. You see it? Do you see how easy that was to do? Okay, so that's number one. Understand how easy it is, and all you have to do is have the inventory to do it. That's number one. Number two, there's short ones, there's longer ones, there's in-between ones. As you get more sophisticated, you expand out. You start out with wherever you have the biggest social media following, okay? And if it's on Instagram, for most people it's Instagram, you're going to do Instagram, you're going to do it on a phone, and you're going to turn it on, you're going to go for it, right? The live portion, okay, is really, it's the cherry on top of the sundae. You don't even need it. Like you're turning it on, you're essentially going live as a way of forcing yourself to do the damn thing, right? And to take questions and get some interaction. I quite frankly don't care if your mother is the only one watching the live broadcast. It doesn't matter to me. After it's done, it's saved, and then you email it to your entire email list, right? And so you can start out just by doing them. You can do them spur of the moment. You can schedule them, right? You can schedule them. Let your email list know ahead of time. Try to get as many people live, and then email it to your whole list after the fact. Then, as you grow in sophistication, and in Meg's case, what Meg will do, because she's grown in sophistication and she's got a very solid collector list, is she will have a live art show scheduled, let's just say on Thursday, okay? On Friday, the week before, she'll tease the show to everyone. Then on Monday, she'll email her collectors and say, hey, just to let you know, I'm having a private Zoom call for just you guys. I came out with a brand new series that I'm going to have a live art show to debut it. But because you've been collectors and supported me in the past, you get to see it before anyone else. And if you're interested in any of the pieces, let me know. And she'll have a private Zoom just for them. And she'll do the live art show in the private Zoom just for them on Monday. So not only do they get Monday, they get a Monday. Whoever wants to buy it, buy it. Tuesday, they get to ruminate on it. Wednesday, if they want to grab one, they can. And then Thursday, it goes live to the rest, right? Mm-hmm. So, there's the easiest way to explain it is like, I don't even really play golf anymore, but you have a bag full of clubs, right? And each one has a different purpose. Live art shows are like that. I just did a flash sale, right? Like that's the putter, the full dog and pony and collector. That's the driver off the tee and everything in between. But you can ship them at any point in time. Fantastically powerful. I'm going to send you after this is all said and done. Well, you'll see it, but I have like actually, why wouldn't I just pull it up? I'll just pull the doggone thing out. If my stupid screen share thing will work. I'm still stewing about this update. Ruin my doggone day. All right, hold on. Live art show. What did I call this thing? Live art show. Ah, here it is. Is that it? Okay, that's it. So let's get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. That. Oh, good. I'm behind it now. Anyway, I'm going to send you this, and it's how to run live art shows, a quick start guide. It's going to walk you through all of the reasons why these things work, and they're awesome. I've sort of covered some of them already, but it's helpful to see real results, real artists talking about them, their actual shows, all that song and dance. And then at the bottom of this thing, when we get to the bottom of it, send me the guide, please. You click on that. and this is like the tactical, right? So the first page is the why they're so effective. Here is the how, right? And I walk you through the equipment you need, inventory and pricing, how to get paid, where to stream the show, the actual show, how to announce the show, bonus content, this, that, and the other. So I think you should check that out. You'll ideally find it helpful, I hope. And yeah, that's what's up. And then,
Thank you.
And then are you going to run one today?
I don't know. Oh.
No.
Sorry. I'm helping my sister's mother-in-law sell her photography, so she's got a collection, but like I'm trying to get her to market the prints that she already has out on her Instagram by like photographing them. But I'll let her know that. But she's in Austin, Texas, and I'm in Southern California.
Nice.
So
where
I don't have her stuff.
Where in SoCal are you?
I'm in Encinitas, San Diego
Nice.
County.
Nice. Weather was good this weekend, huh?
Yes.
Yes. Very, very nice. I went to UCSD, so I used to live in SD forever and ever. Still
nice.
I'm still holding on to the 619 area code on my cell phone even.
Nice.
Just for pure nostalgia. So yeah, so that's what I would say. But they're awesome. They're super effective. And you know, even if you're an artist and your significant other's a photographer, you could have one shop and have all your stuff in there and run the shows together. Like it, you know, it totally works.
Oh, cool. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure. And I'll send you the guide after the fact, and you can totally do it. And there's like, you know, one of the other things. So as you sort of level up, you know, you eventually get to a point where, and I kind of showed it in the video, the cell phone has to do Instagram. That's the only way you can get onto Instagram. There's hacky software, but rule number one, do not piss off Facebook with your Instagram account. Not worth it. So the cell phone has to do that. And then the software gives you the ability to, A, have multiple people in multiple destinations, easy, but also, you know, it's kind of just like Zoom, except it streams to everywhere. And so you can hit your YouTube account, you can hit your Facebook business page, you could hit her Facebook business page and stream to like multiple destinations at the same time, which is a pretty good hacky way to do it. So I would say that's an option too. All right, wonderful. Let's see, I'll get you out of there. Love the information, Patrick. Thank you. Taught me more in just the last week than listening to all your podcasts, and I learned in previous 25 years as an artist. Well, that is highly flattering, Michael. Thank you. I somehow managed to make myself disappear, and now I don't know how to get myself back. So that's awesome too. There we go. All right, now I'm back. Okay, guys. Who else? Questions, comments, concerns? Can be about anything, or we can talk about Q4. Yep, I got you, Larry. Go ahead, Larry. And you'll need to unmute, Larry. Yep, gotcha.
I'm just kind of starting out with all of this. I mean, I've been painting for a few years, but I'm just now trying to get into the selling part of it.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, I have no real brain for business. I mean, I do the work, I do the painting, set it aside, and then I just go on to the next painting. And when I get enough people asking me, then I'll set some stuff out, either at a garage sale or I had a church do a showing for me. But then with my luck, the only person that bought one of my paintings was the lady that ran the showing, you know, all the people. So, but I mean, I have no idea. How do I know what to price my artwork at?
Yep, I got you covered there.
Because if I can flip the, oh, here we go. There's one of my paintings. And I'll sell something like that for about $120 to $150. And I don't know if that's too much or not enough.
Aha.
But I mean,
I know how to answer that question. So I'm gonna throw this into the chat right now. Okay. And it is my advanced article on pricing. And it literally is gonna walk you through how to price your artwork from top to bottom. It is extremely thorough. It is extremely good too, if I don't say so myself, because no one ever teaches this kind of thing to you guys. But one, the work has to sell. Okay, there's nothing more important than that. I go into some rants about Picasso here and everything else. And then two, you need a range of pricing. You have to have prices under $100. You have to have prices from $100 to $1,000. You have to have prices over $1,000. Okay, and you need to have non-wall art as a part of the lineup. And the reason that you do that, I go into super in-depth in this article, talk about all the bells, all the whistles, everything that you need to do, how to solve for it. And so if you read this, your pricing questions will be answered. I promise. It's super in-depth. I had someone on Facebook tell me it's the best thing they've ever read in their lives on Facebook. So that's how I know it's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have access to a lot of places where I could sell my art.
Mhm.
There's this old community center. There's a large there's a golf course place resort that has every Friday has like a kind of like a farmer's market kind of thing.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about. You're thinking in the right direction. So now you gotta get that table, get that cloth, get your work on it, go down there and have some conversations.
Oh, okay. All right. I just need to know how to get started.
Yeah. Read that pricing article and go do some shows and fairs.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, that'll help out big time. Early on, the only thing that matters is that you sell the work. There's nothing else that matters at all in the slightest. And when you go and you do an in-person event and you get that work in the booth and you're starting to have conversations, you're starting to have interactions, you'll find out if people are really interested in it, and it will sell. You're going to get ideas. People are going to come up to you for commissions. It's like anything else. It takes execution. And I know it's hard. I know it's terrifying. I know it's very easy for me to sit under my lovely wooded fall background here and tell you to go do it, but it's massively impactful. Early on, the sheer amount of people that waste time on nonsense, well, I'm so busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing the other. Yeah, and the business is not going anywhere because you're not actually ever trying to sell the work. You're going down a path to hobbydom, right? And nobody wants to do that. All right, Tom, I'm going to get your question. And I can unmute you, Tom. So how do you take and save cover shots for Reels Lives? Yeah, so I would use Canva or any one of these little design programs, and then you just email the thing to yourself, or if you're Mac person, they can airdrop it to your phone, and you do it that way. He's asking how to save covers for Reels or Live. You have to design it obviously ahead of time. But you can do it any which way. To be honest with you, there's probably 100 different iPhone apps that do it too. So that's how I'd go about doing that, Tom. But who else has questions, comments, concerns? Not sure how many of you guys yet have checked out what we offer and what we do, but a fun thing that we've added to our repertoire recently is you don't have to build the website with us. We build the entire thing for you. Want to know why? Because an artist only has 3 jobs: create the thing, market the thing, and sell the thing. Nowhere on that list is HTML, CSS, GoDaddy, JavaScript, tech support in India, rerouting, SEO, or any of the rest of the things. Complete waste of your time. So when you sign up, we actually build your website for you, which I think is pretty cool. I'm trying to get them to, don't tell anyone this, I could care less. I'm trying to get them to cover it for life. Meaning you will never have to update your website ever again for the rest of your life. By which I mean the rest of your life. Because it's not a good use of your time. None of you guys need to learn how to be web programmers. You have to create the thing, market the thing, and sell the thing. And let me tell you, that's enough. That is enough. So anything else that does not, fall into those boxes is the big deal. So that's what I would say. Yeah, and you guys are asking, how can you sign up? We do the test drive process, or whatever you want to call it, the demo. I hate it. It's a stupid word. It's a software word. Oh, get a demo. But it's like an hour-long Zoom session where they walk you through all the bells, all the whistles, everything that we offer. And to get one of those, you can just sign up on our website. There's buttons literally everywhere. It just says, get a demo. And they can walk you through all the bells, all the whistles, all the everythings. I see you, Kelly. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. So, do you guys print and ship as well? Because I saw that you do like the whole live viewing and everything and all the different sizes. So do you guys print and ship for them if someone buys?
We do. So we're integrated with 2 print partners. One is called Bay Photo and the other one is called Graphic Dimensions. They're huge printers doing, 30, 40, $50 million a year in business. So they have every printer, every media type, everything. The order comes in, you get paid, the printer gets paid, the printer prints it, boxes it, slaps your logo on the side of the box, ships it, and you don't touch a thing. Not a thing. You don't have to send an email, send a tracking number. You have to do any of that. Zero. All handled for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Kelly. I'm not kidding when I say it. Like, create the things, market the things, sell the things. There's nothing else. There's nothing else you should be working on. And the printing one is like one that aggravates me to no end because it's like, I've got this great local printer. I'm like printing myself. I'm like, yeah, okay, wonderful. That is a waste of your time. Going to the printer, looking at the proofs, sending tracking numbers, going back and forth on the emails, boxing things up, taking it to FedEx is all time that you're not spending on actually growing your business. All you're doing is being busy for the sake of being busy when no one cares that you were the one that went to go do it and went to go pick it up and da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, you just don't need to do it. You really don't need to do it. So I get fired up about these things. Who else, guys? Questions? Comments? Concerns? Yep. All right. Robin, see? Robin's taking her opportunities here. She knows no one else is asking any questions.
I know. Sorry to hog the time, but
No, it's all good. No one else is raising their hand.
So when you were mentioning having the business model, because this would be so new for me. How would you even start that? What's the most important piece of the business model that I should be focusing on?
So there's like a lot to unpack in that question.
I know.
The point that I make, like the primary portion of the business model is the way that this industry worked traditionally. Okay, let's back in the day. If you wanted to make it as an artist, you would have to get a gallery to represent you. The gallery would do all of the marketing and sales for you, and they would take a 50% cut. In addition to the 50% cut, they don't tell you who's purchasing your work. That is sort of the bargain that has existed forever and ever and ever. And most artists thought, like, if they were ever going to make it, that's how they were going to have to do it, and that's what they did. Tandem to that has been the show and fair circuit, which has been going on for, centuries, right? Where you go and get a booth, you have your stuff in the booth, you sell the stuff at the booth, you know who purchased your work, and that's a viable business model. My argument is, and I should say to all the digital marketplaces, Etsy, Fine Art America, Redbubble, Saatchi, they just represent the gallery model, digitally speaking. So they still take a cut. They don't tell you who purchased your work. You can't market to that person again. The biggest problem is not knowing who purchases your work, not retaining that list, and not understanding that you're going to be creating this work for the rest of your life. Artists and photographers never stop. So the difference between a business that makes it and is growing and doing really, really well is the one that is cultivating a list of collectors over decades, right? You need to be able to market to these people in perpetuity, because what they don't teach you in art school is the easiest customer to get, as it turns out, is the one that you already have. It's the one that you already have. Everyone that's purchased your work is more likely to come back and purchase it again. So it's very, very important, stretched out over a career, that you have those lists, right? Like, we had a bunch of people sign up during the peak of COVID, and breaking my heart, every single one of them. Like, selling $200,000 a year in galleries. COVID stops. COVID shuts down everything. Their work is now stuck in a gallery. It's closed. They have no idea who's ever purchased their work before. They have zero income coming in, and they're now starting from scratch because they never built a Facebook page, never built an Instagram account, they never built an email list, they never did any marketing, and they're like, what am I doing, right? That's why I use that line, like, you used to be in the corner office, and now you have to go back to the mailroom, right? But it's true. It's like, that is a terrifying place to be in. So you want to control your own destiny, and you want to be selling direct. So for me, what I see is really the only viable path for artists and photographers. Like, what nobody talks about is the artists and the photographers that have really successful businesses using the gallery model are kind of like the number of pro surfers or pro golfers or pro sports players, right? Does it happen occasionally? Yeah, it does. Are the odds good that that's going to be you? No, they're not, right? There's that few people that make it. And so really the only viable business model for an artist of photography, if you want a business that's continuing to grow, you market directly, you sell directly, you retain that information on your customers. I would argue that part of a proper art photography marketing balanced diet, if you like, is to do some local fairs and shows every single solitary year. 2 or 3 or 4 is fine. Doesn't need to be more than that, because that just gives you additional ways to capture email addresses and grow the business. Rinse and repeat. for the rest of your career. That's it. That's literally it.
And if somebody does, so speaking of what Kelly's question, if somebody does order a piece, but it's not through art storefronts, how do we get that order to you to have you guys, how does that work?
Yeah, so they're called wholesale orders, and you get their information. You go into your store in the back end, enter it in, boom, gets printed, shipped, done.
Got it.
Take you like 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Good questions, all. Chris W. So I quick mentioned a question recently, art show a couple weeks ago. Had great conversations with no sales, but I saw based on the crowd, I should have marketed other pieces as well as had prints. Exactly right, Chris W. That's how you learn. That's the only way you actually learn what people actually want is you go out and you do one of those shows and you try and figure out like what's going to work, you know? Critically important. And so few people, you know, so many artists and photographers create the thing, barely show the thing to anyone because they're terrified of marketing. They don't like marketing. They don't like sales. And then the work doesn't sell because they didn't show it to anyone. And then they go off and do another piece. Or they say art doesn't sell. You know, it's just not a worthwhile thing. I should have listened to my mother and just said it was a hobby. And it doesn't have to be like that. By the way, I cite this all the time. Pablo Picasso, when he died, had 45,000 unsold works in his inventory. 45,000. And he didn't have a will. So I think his kids are still fighting over it. He's got one legitimate kid and one illegitimate kid. And I think they're still suing each other. It's sad. But the point is, when I said it was a game of archery, Chris, do you know what Pablo Picasso did? He fired arrows at the target and missed all the damn time. Okay, he missed all the damn time. And it didn't let him, he didn't quit. He just understood that when I go and create a thing, I need to be able to sell the thing. It has to get out into the world. And if it does, I know I'm on the right track. If it doesn't, that is the wrong track. I've got to try a new one. And that's the only way that you get there is through that experimentation. And I would say like, one of the crazy things about doing this as long as I have now is like, I think we're at like 7,000 customers is what we have at Art Storefronts. And I've got to watch a lot of their careers like mature from where they started out as to where they are now. And aside from like a couple of really seasoned artists, I would say that just know who they are and always knew who they were and arrived at their style really early. And, you know, you could look at one of their pieces and then you could recognize all of their pieces. They have a niche. The majority of the rest of them have changed their offerings so significantly over the course of the years. And I realized that like that type of the creative process is so fundamentally important, meaning you go and create a thing because it fulfills you creatively. It inspires you. That's what you wanted to create. You go try and sell it and it's freaking crickets. So many people stop right there instead of trying something new. And it's the ones that try things new all the time that inevitably reach like the highest highs. It's like programmed into their DNA. They just do it. And then you hear Pablo Picasso had 45,000 unsold works and you're like, right? He got that. He learned that lesson early on too. And he was constantly trying new things out. And if you're not getting the inputs, i.e. you're not attempting to sell it and you're not having conversations with people and you're not doing the marketing and running these live art shows, you're never going to start getting the comments like, oh, Chris, you know, I love those portraits in your style, but I don't want one of me. I want one of my dog. Would you do one of my dog? And you're like, yeah, I'll do one of your dog, right? You quote him a price. Next thing you know, you're the biggest dog portrait artist in the United States, right? Because how did you figure it out? You listened when some guy said like, I like what you're doing creatively, but I don't like that. But here's what I do like, and my credit card's out. What's up? You want to take that thing or not, right? So really, really important lessons, I think to learn those. And many don't and struggle, and it's sad. And yeah, Robin, we have like a database, and then your database integrates with MailChimp, so it's an easy way to do it. Maintaining the collector list, Robin, easy. Building the collector list, a little bit harder of a task, as it turns out. That's what takes some grinding and some work, right? I'm so upset that my buttons are all broken. Yeah, Katie, they're all over our website, or you can, you know, put in a demo and say, hey, send me some artist site examples, and you'll see a whole bunch. That's what I would say. Or you can go and read all of our Facebook reviews and just click on all their faces and then go to their websites directly too if you want to do it that way. Also a great way to go. What else? I feel like we covered some good ground today. Hope it was helpful. Hope you guys learned some stuff. Trying to think what else. Is that it? I think that's what I got. I will send you the replay. It'll have all the thises, the that's, and the others in there. We are having a huge sale this week, so it is a great time to come on board. Ends at the end of the month. Yeah, I see your question, Kelly. We're not inexpensive, and we're not inexpensive for a reason, because everyone likes to compare us and put us in the bucket of like, oh, you're a website platform, and I'm just going to compare you to all the other website platforms. We're rather not. Yes, we're a website platform. Yes, we have print on demand and all these bells and whistles and all this other stuff. But that's just a tenth of what we do. We're essentially a postgraduate university that teaches art and photography, business, and marketing. When there's no graduates, because the learning never stops, everything changes so quickly that you guys need continuing education forever on everything. Pricing, marketing, selling, negotiating, discounting, how to run sales, how to send emails, all of this stuff. And there's no shortcut to learning it. You have to learn it. And I know you don't want to learn it, because artists and photographers don't like marketing. It does not come natural to them. It is very stressful. And you are going to be stressed out for the first couple of years until you get the hang of it. And the sooner you come to terms with that, the better off you're going to be. Because then when you write that mental check that I'm going to be grinding at this for the next couple of years, I'm going to get good at it, you know what funny thing happens? The business actually starts growing instead of being a hobby. And that's what we do. And so to answer your question, we charge a monthly fee for a website, same as all the rest of them, and we charge a one-time fee to get yourself in the university. And the university gets you all the support, all the this, all of that, all the everything. And it's critically important. And to be honest with you, you want to know what we do? Michael just said it. It would have been huge to have a class like this in high school or college. Where the hell are these classes? You get every single solitary historical class that exists, right? About everything art related that there is, and nothing about how do you actually turn this creative passion into a business so you can feed your family, right? And it's sad. It's sad. It is like a massive hole in the educations that we all got. And I have to say, I went to UCSD, okay? And I was always a business guy. I had a business when I was at UCSD, and they didn't have like a business major. They only had an economics major. And so I was like, I'm just going to take the economics major. I was in this one math class, and then I'll get your question, Tom. Math 10C that I hated so bad, okay? I knew I was never going to use this again, that I dropped it twice. The third time, I left all my stuff in the class, went and changed my major, and then came back and got it one class later just so I didn't have to take the class. Then I transitioned into a visual arts degree at UCSD, okay? And so I went through all the art classes is the point that I'm making, right? There was nothing even approaching how to monetize a creative passion, and that is a frustration. Okay, Tom, go ahead.
No. Hey, it's actually me.
Oh.
You're behind him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw. It just says Tom, and it's got his photo. So I was like, oh, hey, Tom.
Yeah, no. He's my friend.
Oh.
He's nudging me to market.
Uh-huh.
But my question is, I just got a post from my gallery on Facebook. So they wanted me to share it on my Facebook page.
Yep.
Which I managed to do.
Nice.
But can I put that on? Is there a way of getting that onto my new Instagram site?
Yeah, I would just take the photo that they used for it and then upload that photo to Instagram and just write your own caption. That's what I would do.
Screenshot it or copy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's not a link.
Yeah, no, there's no linking out of Instagram. Not like that anyway. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right, guys. I think we'll wrap it up. Leave it there. Enjoyed that. Good session. I've been doing a ton of interesting stuff on Instagram recently, so highly recommend that you follow us on Instagram, Art Storefronts. And in our Reels section, I get to really like play around with like the latest and greatest marketing techniques and tactics as I learn them and before they're fully baked. And it's a great way to like seriously level up your marketing. It's just subscribe to us on Instagram and watch these reels that we put out. I mean, there's hardcore tactical stuff, and a lot of these that you guys can bolt into your operation immediately. And our Instagram handle is art_storefronts if you want to go check that out. All right, guys, great weeks, all of you. Chris, artwork's not going to sell itself, brother. You got to get that in front of somebody. I'm counting on you. And then everybody follow Robin's Instagram account. She will be running a live art show later this afternoon from beautiful Encinitas, California. And so that should be good too. But thank you guys. That was fun. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and hope to see you again soon.